The stock market absolutely hates Donald Trump, his erratic behavior, his threats, the ridiculous cabinet picks. I mean, what? There were 8 straight days where the Dow has been down. That hasn't happened since, wait a minute, when Trump was in office in 2018. And if it's the 9th straight day, what's that, like since the 1970s? Great work, Donald. Even when Donald showed up at the New York Stock Exchange last week, he had his whole propaganda crew, his cabinet was there. All of the major indexes were down when Trump was there. I thought he said that he's got the golden touch. Nope, he's got the MeidasTouch, not the MeidasTouch at all. Let's just take a look at what's going on here so you can see for yourself. And this happens at a time where Treasuries 10-year yields may climb to 6% for the first time in more than 2 decades, as people like T. Rowe Price and other financial analysts are saying that they expect the United States fiscal woes to accelerate and that Donald Trump's policies will keep inflation elevated. This comes at a time where the Wall Street Journal's main headline is Americans are stockpiling to get ahead of tariffs. Consumers are snapping up computer parts, vacuum cleaners, coffee and olive oil before the levies take effect. Folks, you realize you didn't have to do this to yourself. I mean, do you enjoy the pain? You want to inflict pain? It didn't have to actually be this way. And so now you have to stockpile your toilet paper and all of these things because the prices are going to go up. But wait a minute, I thought your whole central premise was that on day one with his accordion hands, like a miracle, it was all going to go away. What, didn't he say that before? That was about COVID. He said it again, like a miracle, he's going to get the prices down. And now he goes on Meet the Press and goes, it's very hard. He tells Time magazine, very, very hard. Not sure I have the ability to do that. Remember, he went to the New York Stock Exchange and he was given the softball of softball questions by propagandist, bogus business host Jim Cramer. Should the American workers, Mr. President, invest in the stock market? Should they be putting their money in the stock market? You're at the stock market. Clearly, he wants you to say yes. Your entire campaign was, even though Biden's stock market 60% better than your first term, that you were going to miraculously, make it even better than it was? Trump's response is, I don't know if workers should invest in the stock market, Trump goes on to say, well, what if there's a dip and then people lose their money? You're talking about a dip and losing their money. You're also telling Kristen Welker that you don't think you can get the prices down. You also don't have a health care plan? I don't know. Maybe this should be what corporate media is focused on each and every single day. Dow heads for the 9th straight loss. Stock futures fall as Fed meeting kicks off. Yeah, the Fed's looking at inflation and going, wait a minute. All of Donald Trump's threats to Mexico and Canada and the BRICS bloc of Brazil and India and South Africa, and China, that's going to make inflation high. We can't lower interest rates if inflation's going to keep on rising. Just think about that. Let's just take a look at what T. Rowe Price is saying about the Treasury yields may climb to 6%. Here's what T. Rowe says. They say the following. Treasury 10-year yields may climb to 6% for the first time in more than 2 decades as U.S. fiscal woes worsen and Trump's policies help keep inflation elevated. The benchmark yield may first reach 5% in the first quarter of 2025 before potentially climbing further. Arif Hussain, chief investment officer of fixed income, wrote in his report. Hussain is doubling down on calls for higher yields, citing persistent U.S. budget deficits as Trump cuts taxes during the second presidency, as well as potential tariffs and immigration policies that would sustain price pressures. Is a 6% 10-year Treasury yield possible? Why not? But we can consider that when we move through 5%, wrote Hussein, who helps the money manager oversee $187 billion. The transition period in U.S. politics is an opportunity to position for increasing longer-term Treasury yields, he says. So I told you the other Wall Street Journal headline, right? American stockpiling to get ahead of tariffs. Consumers snapping up computer parts, vacuum cleaners, coffee, and olive oil before the levies take effect. Tariff-conscious consumers are stockpiling goods and rushing to upgrade old cars and appliances to get ahead of potential price increases. A quarter of Americans surveyed said it was a good time for major purchases as they expect prices to go up next year, up from 10% a month prior and a record high, according to the University of Michigan's monthly survey of consumers. And a third of the 2,000 people surveyed recently by creditcards.com said they were buying more now because they feared tariffs. Y'all voted for the guy to inflict suffering on you, and you said you were voting for him for the opposite reason. Now you put him in charge, and now you're saying that you're suffering, and you're upset about that, and now you have to stockpile. Can someone please somehow make this make sense to me? But it's okay, everybody. Guess what? Because Elon Musk, he's going to fix it. I'm being sarcastic. Elon Musk writes, "There is a large graveyard filled with my enemies. I do not wish to add to it, but will, if given no choice. Those who pick fights with me do so at their own peril. But maybe this is their lucky day." What the hell is this? That's someone who's acting as a co-president right now, just out there making threats like that each and every day. But guys, guess what, everybody? Republicans are optimistic for 2025. To me, the biggest red flag is that Republicans are optimistic for 2025, where it seems prices are going to go up. It kind of tells you where things are going to be heading. With big wireless providers, what you see is never what you get. Somewhere between the store and your first month's bill, the price you thought you were paying, it magically skyrockets. With Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about gotchas ever again. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, they mean it. Think about all the bad experiences you've had with mobile providers in the past. Complicated bills, upcharges that you never thought were going to be there. Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. And all plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. So, to get this new customer offer here at the MeidasTouch Network and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/Meidas. That's mintmobile.com/Meidas. Make sure you spell it right. MEIDAS. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Meidas. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 GB on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobiles for detail. Here's what The Independent is writing about, citing 2 different studies. Trump's mass deportation plan could hurt the country more than the Great Recession report says. Mass deportations could lead to a 7.4% drop in the GDP, meaning the U.S. economy would not grow at all during Trump's second term, the report says. I don't know. What is something that hurts more than a Great Recession? I don't know. Does it start with a D? Could it be a Great Depression? Is that the words that you're trying to say? Let's just take a look at some of these reports. The American Immigration Council estimates that if the U.S. deported 1 million people each year until the country no longer had an undocumented population, it could lead to a 4.2% to a 6.8% loss in GDP. To put this in context, the economy shrank by 4.3% during the Great Depression. Here's another one. Estimates from the Peterson Institute for International Economics showed an even grimmer economic consequence after analyzing how the deportation of 8.3 million undocumented immigrants would impact the U.S. economy, the think tank found that the GDP would be 7.4% lower by 2028. This 7.4% reduction in GDP over 4 years would likely mean that the U.S. economy would not grow at all during the second term. Employment would also be 7% lower by the end of Trump's term, the Institute found, and 44,000 U.S.-born workers would lose their job. So if you want to talk about specific industry sectors like construction, agriculture, healthcare, and hospitality, Trump's proposed mass deportations would remove up to 1.5 million workers from the construction industry, 225,000 from agriculture, 1 million from hospitality, 870,000 from manufacturing, and 461,000 from transportation, warehousing. Seriously? Seriously. So I wonder why Wall Street looks at this and goes, wait a minute, things may be grim. But then why is it that they're saying all these things and trying to pump it up? Because they want to pump it, they want to dump it, they want to tax shelter it, they want their tax cuts, and they want to keep us in this loop, have a Democratic administration fix it, but then blame the Democratic administration that fixed it, blame the firefighter for putting out the fire, bring back in the arsonist, plunder, pillage, rinse, repeat. That is the strategy of the oligarchy. And that's what we call out here on the MeidasTouch network. People are pissed, but direct your pissedness in the right direction. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers together. We appreciate you.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.